Hi besties, welcome to today's tutorial. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this transparent corset dress with a basque waist. Okay, and this is an inbuilt corset as well, and it has a yoke and also a sleeve, but the main focus for today is how to make the transparent corset. So please pay attention to what I'm going to be showing you, because this is the first time I am making this kind of dress. So if I can do it, you too can also do it. But at the end of the day, if you have any question, don't forget to ask me at the comment section. I will definitely respond. And please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do it to subscribe, like this video so that more people like you can also see it. So without further ado, let us dive into today's video.
Listen to this sound.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and mark a straight line across my pattern paper, which is going to be serving as the shoulder line like this. So this side is going to be serving as the center front, and this is going to be serving as the side front. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my body measurement. So I will place my tape on the line that I marked at the top. I will take my bust point, which is 10 inches, under bust 13.5 inches, then the waistline is 15 inches. But because I'm going to be making this as an inbuilt corset, I'm going to add 3 inches to it, which is going to make it 18 inches. I will just mark 18 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across. For you, please make use of your top length. Okay, once I was done with that, I'll go ahead and label it. This is the bust points, under bust, and also the top length. So once I was done with this, please pay attention to what I'm going to be showing you. I will come up by 2 inches, which is going to be serving as my chest line. I will label it chest line. So this is all we need. So I will come to the shoulder line like this. I'll go ahead and divide the shoulder measurements by 2. I will go ahead and mark 7 inches like this. Then from this point I just marked, I will come down by ½ inch, which is going to be serving as the shoulder slope. I will come to my chest line. I will go ahead and mark that 7 inches as well. Then I will connect a straight line across. So I just want the line to be straight. Then I will take the wideness of the neck. So the wideness I'm working with is 3.5 inches, because I don't want this to choke my client. So I'll also come down by 3.5 inches. I'll go ahead and connect the points together using my French curve. So once I was done connecting it, I will mark a slant line from the shoulder to the neckline, which is the shoulder slope like this. Then I will place my tape on my armhole area. I will fold it into 2. I will just divide it by 2 and mark the midpoint like this. Then from this point I just marked, I will go in by ½ inch. So once I was done marking the point, what I'm going to be doing is to connect the armhole to the chest line. But before I do that, I will go ahead and impute the client's measurement, bust measurement. So the bust measurement is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. I'll go ahead and mark 9 at this point. So once I was done marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the 3 points together from the shoulder to the chest line. So go ahead and divide your bust by 4 and mark and do the same thing. So once I was done with that, I will take the nipple to nipple measurement. I will place my tape on the center front like this and measure 4 inches. So the nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. 8 divided by 2 is 4. After that, I'll go ahead and connect the points together. I'm going to be placing a photo on the screen on how to take your nipple to nipple measurement. It's very easy. So once I was done with that, I will come to the shoulder. I will measure what I have on the shoulder. I will divide it by 2. After dividing it with my tape like this, I'll go ahead and mark a point and connect a line to meet with the bust point. So I'll go ahead and take my darts. So at the left side and also at the right side, I will mark 1 inch like this on the under bust. Okay, at the under bust. That will come to the top length. I will also mark 1 inch inward, 1 inch outward. I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. Then I'll come to the bust point. I'll come down by 1 inch. I'll go ahead and connect a curve line from that 1 inch to meet with the under bust, just like as you can see me doing. I'm going to measure from my bust point to my under bust. So whatever I have, I will mark it at the top. Just watch how I am going to be placing my tape. What I have from my bust point to under bust is 3.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and place my tape on the bust point like this. Then I will measure it upward. I'll mark 3.5 inches like this. I'll also mark 3.5 inches like this, just like as you can see me doing. Then on this small line, on this small dot at the top, I'm going to go ahead and take my chest dart. I'll mark 1 inch inward and 1 inch outward on the points that I marked. Please take note, I took my dart measurement on the points that I marked. So it's very, very important for you to mark it before taking your chest line dart. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. If you do not understand, please pay attention to what I'm doing. You will understand. So once I was done with that, I'll use my French curve and connect a curve line like this. Once I was done, I will come to the chest line. I will mark 1 inch inward like this. I will place my tape. I will mark 1 inch. So this is going to be the space in between your bust. I will come to the bust point. I will also do the same thing. I'll go ahead and use my ruler to connect the points together like this. So I'll go ahead and use my French curve to connect a curve line to meet with that 1 inch and went in by the center front. So don't place your curve or your French curve like this. So go ahead and place it like this so that you have a lot of space to accommodate your bust. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place it like this and draw a curve line to meet that 1 inch I went in with. Then I'll also come to the upper side like this and just curve it. Use my French curve. Then I'll come to this point here. I will divide what I have in between here by 2. So what I normally do is I will just fold my tape into 2 and mark the points. Okay, so this is it. Just mark the point over there. So from that point, I will draw a curve line with my French curve like this. So remember, I'm placing this French curve under the under bust. Okay, it must be directly under the under bust. Then go ahead and connect it. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it like this. Then once I was done connecting it, this is how it look like. The next thing now is to go ahead and connect the upper part. I'm going to place my French curve like this on it and just connect it. So I'm going to be reconnecting this up later. Please pay attention to what I'm going to be showing you. So once I was done with that, I will come to this bust line that I marked before. Remember, we took our bust measurements before. I'll go ahead and add my sewing allowance, which is 1.5 inch. I will divide my under bust by 4. Then I will add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I will divide my waistline by 4. I will mark it. Then I will add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. So once I was done with this, what the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to extend the lines. I will just extend the lines like this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and replace all the darts. So I will come to the chest line dart that we took. I will go ahead and measure it. What I have there is 2 inches. I'll go ahead and replace the 2 inches, okay, on my chest line. I will come to the under bust. I will measure it. What I have there is 2 inches. I will replace the 2 inches. So go ahead and replace your darts. Very, very important though, so that you don't end up having shortage on your material. Go ahead and replace all the darts. This is the rough work I did before drafting this. So remember, I said this is the first time I'm doing this, so that's why I went ahead to do rough work before. So what I'm going to be doing is to divide this place by 2. What I have there, I will just place my tape on it like this. I'll go ahead and divide it by 2. I will mark a point at the center or at the middle using my red marker like this. So as earlier said, I said I'm going to be reconnecting that part. So I'm just going to come to this. I'm going to be placing my French curve and draw a curve line from the bust point to meet the point I just marked close to the armhole area. So I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inch. So I'll go ahead and mark a straight line, just a short straight line there. I'll go ahead and use my ruler. I'll place it like this, like a slant. I will mark a V shape. So this is the shape as the front of the dress. Okay, I'll go ahead and use my straight ruler and connect a straight line. I'm going to be remarking this. I'll go ahead and use it to reconnect the armholes like this. So I was trying to mark a new line here before, but at the end of the day I ended up not using it. I will cut it off later, so that's why I didn't even bother to explain that part. So just follow up with the first line that I marked. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and cut this out. Before cutting it, I will label it. This is the yoke, this upper part. Please pay attention to this. That is going to be serving as the yoke. So I'll go ahead and cut this out, just like as you can see me doing. So at this point I'm going to go ahead and cut through the first line I marked. So the reason why I actually wanted to go up by half an inch, I'm going to be explaining to you guys later. Once I'm done cutting it, I will show it to you guys so that you understand. Please keep on paying attention. Now this is the reason why I wanted to add half inch to the first one, which is this one here. If you see it, after placing it together, you're going to discover that the second one is higher than the first one. So if I go ahead and sew it like this, the first one is going to be shorter than the second one. So that's why I wanted to add half an inch, so that after sewing it, both of them will be equal. So instead, when I'm cutting it on the fabric, I'll go ahead and add 1 inch on the upper part of this first one, while I will add half inch on the second one. So I'll show you guys. So that is just basically the trick. This is it. This is how it look like. The next thing now is I'm going to go ahead and cut the back. So I've gone ahead to mark a straight line on the upper part, which is going to be serving as the shoulder. So I went ahead to mark the bust point. I went up from the bust point by 2 inches. So mark your waistline, under bust, and our top length, which is 80 inches. Go ahead and mark a straight line across. What I did for the front is what I'm doing for the back. So I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across like this. Then I'm going to mark 1.5 inch like this at the top and also at the back like this. I'm going to mark a straight line. This is going to be serving as the zipper allowance. So I'll go ahead and take the wideness of the neck, which is 3.5 inches. That will come down by 1.5 inch. So remember, I also use 3.5 inches at the front. I'll go ahead and connect it only from the zipper line to the neckline. Okay, so when you are taking your measurement, please take from where the line that I marked, that is where the zipper line started from. That is where you're going to be taking your neck measurements. So I believe you already know this before. So if you don't understand, go and watch my tutorials on how to make a basic bodice pattern. You're going to see it. So I will take the shoulder slope measurement. I will connect the armhole together. Basically what we did for the front is what we are repeating for the back. When it gets to where there is a difference, I will be explaining that. So for the armhole, I'm not going to be dividing it by 2, and I'm not going to be going in by half an inch because the back does not have a bust. So I'll just connect it. I'll go ahead and impute my body measurement. I'll go ahead and impute the under bust measurement divided by 4 and waistline measurement divided by 4. I'll go ahead and connect it together. Once I was done with that, I will impute the nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. Okay, as I earlier explained. I'll connect the lines together like this. Then I'll take my dart. I'll go in by half inch. I will come out by half inch. I will come to the chest line. I will come down by 1 inch. From there, I will use my straight ruler to mark a slant line from the dart at the waistline to the 1 inch at the chest line like this. So that is basically all I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to replace the dart. I will measure it. What I have there is 1 inch. I will add 1.5 inch to it for the sewing allowance. I will just replace everything. So I will also add the sewing allowance to the chest line. I'll go ahead and use my ruler to connect it. So when you are replacing your dart, add your sewing allowance as well. So I'll come to this chest line here, this part. Let me just label it so you guys will know. So this is chest line. What I'm going to be doing next is I will mark in 1.5 inch. So that's 1.5 inch. The reason why I'm marking in 1.5 inches because I'm going to be lacing the back. So if you are going to be adding zip to it, you don't need to do this part. I will come to the waistline. I will go in by 1 inch. So I will connect a slant line from that chest line to the waistline. I removed 1 inch from the waistline and 1.5 inch from the chest line because I'm going to be lacing it. Okay, so this is an inbuilt corset. Then from this point I will connect a curve line to meet up with the neckline at the back, or I will mark a slant line depending on the design you want to give to the back of your dress. So for me, I wanted to make use of curve. Later I wanted to change my mind and mark it slant, like I want to make it like a V, stuff like that. So this is it. So if you are going to be adding zip to yours, you don't need to be doing all of those things. Just go ahead and cut it out like that. But if you are going to lace it, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So after that, I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. I will go ahead and also label it. This upper part is the yoke. So just go ahead and cut out every single pieces. On my next video, I'll be showing you guys how to sew it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this pattern to cut out all my lining and also my skin end. So when I was cutting it, I went ahead to add extra 2 inch to the waistline, okay, to the length of the top, because it's an inbuilt corset. So I went ahead to extend the length by 2 inches instead of 18 inches that were marked before on our pattern paper. So I went ahead to cut out 20 inches. So on my next video, I'll be showing you guys how to sew it. If you find this tutorial helpful, do it to like, comment and subscribe. If you are yet to subscribe, you are going to see a thank you button close to this like button, so do well to click on it and support this community. Please, see you guys on my next video, and follow me up on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok at Promoted Sandra. Love you.